What is going on, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself, and today is the return, kind of. I think I have a double debut here of Devil May Cry 1 and Devil May Cry 4. I don't think I've done either of these, and the song is Lock and Load from the channels Shooty HG and The Illuminato, requested by Darton. Thank you very much. Really quick before I get started, just two things. Like I said, I don't know if I've done either of these two games. I've mostly heard 5 and 3. And the other thing I wanted to mention, which is kind of funny timing, is whether you see this in the future or not. I'm getting ready to interview the composer of Devil May Cry 5, Casey Edwards. So, small world, and pretty cool thing. I feel honored, considering Devil May Cry is still my biggest video on this channel with Bury the Light. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm really curious what the older Devil May Cry sound like. I do not know the composer of these. Oh, wait. Masami Ueda? Masato Koda? There's a couple people. Okay. This is Lock and Load from Devil May Cry 1, or Devil May Cry. If you're wondering, the only game I've ever played was 5. Oh, sounds like DMC. I like that background noise. Wow, I can hear the spirit of this series here. Again, I won't play 5, but I can hear how like 5 took from this, you know? That's cool. Don't know what they're saying though. I'm looking up when this was released. It feels very like late 90s, 2003, 2001. It debuted on the PS2? I don't know. Why did I feel like this was from the PS1? I just saw the wiki was described as a stylish action game. I've never heard something referred to as a stylish game genre. I have a lot of questions when it comes to Devil May Cry, which I'll ask in a second, but I mean, at least I was kind of right on the era of time, you know? It definitely has that millennium sound. This is good because considering I'm about to interview one of the composers, it's cool to hear like what possibly inspired you, you know? I never thought about that. Lock and Load. Oh right, we're gonna hear the same song again. Okay. Well, let me talk a little bit before that. You know, I'm a huge fan of that. Doo-doo-doo. You know what this reminded me of? It's kind of like GoldenEye. Just so like, I don't know, just kind of action-y sort of spy music. But I don't think Devil May Cry has anything to do with stealth or spy at all. Okay, just really quick TLDR. I discovered DMC on this channel through its music, and then I decided to play 5. I've only played 5. So admittedly, that game was really confusing for me because starting on any 5th entry is you're bound to get confused. I still had fun, you know, the combos and Nero and the little like motorcycle blade and all that. It was cool, chaining stuff together, and it was just one of those times where you just turn off your brain and kind of have fun type of games. But context and story-wise, I was kind of like, what? I felt like I needed the other 4. But I'm familiar with the sound of 5, right? But something I didn't know until I started to play was how delegated the soundtrack was, right? I was under the impression that it was Casey Edwards, and that was his project, but he just kind of did like some, I guess it almost feels like guest spots, but he happened to do the most popular songs in the game. All the songs that sound like this, sort of, were composed by him. So like some battle themes, the main boss, and all the kind of like really commercially successful ones, like Devil Trigger and stuff, those are all him. And I didn't know that all the other stuff, the ambient, the background music, all that was basically, I don't know who else, but someone else or a couple of other people. So I learned that, right? Also, I know Casey Edwards has done one song, I think at least one song from the latest Mortal Kombat 1. And it's the Cage Mansion, Johnny Cage stage, which is my favorite stage. Looks nice. So, as far as I know, Casey has not been part of any of the other 4. But what's really cool is hearing this older stuff, is you can hear like what the inspiration was, like the root of DMC music. This is my first time hearing, as far as I know, my first time hearing Devil May Cry 1. And it's really nice to hear, like, it sounds like Devil May Cry. You know what I mean? Like, I hear that and I think Devil May Cry. In fact, I just did that the other day when I was listening to Final Fantasy 16. The Titan fight has a really different sound than the rest of the soundtrack, which is mostly orchestral. The song that I heard sounded a lot like Devil May Cry. So it's got its own kind of like genre I put it in, which is, I don't even know what the genre is, It's not industrial, it's kind of like just, I don't know, I just call it like 2000s, I don't know, whatever you would call this, it's that, everything sounded like this in like 2000, 2001, 2002. But I had no idea that it was on the PS2. For some reason, I thought Devil May Cry was a lot older. So, and the one thing I was curious about as I was hearing it is, where did it come from? Because I know it's Capcom, but I wonder if it just kind of came out of nowhere as like just a new IP, or did it like spin off from something? I really don't know anything about DMC. I just know Dante and Virgil are brothers. You fight a lot, and they're really fun games. That's kind of it. You know what I mean? Like anything lore-wise, company-wise, I have no idea. But I will say that was cool, and it sounded like what I know, which is Devil May Cry genre. But it's nice to see that the latest game drew inspiration from this one, like tenfold. This is 4. I never hear a 4. Whenever I hear Devil May Cry, people only talk about 2 games, 5 and 3. I think that's it. I don't hear anything about 4. Actually, I lied. I hear to avoid 2. Let me know if that's a common thing, or is that just a hot take. But I've heard that 2 is the one to avoid. Let me know if there's any 2 lovers out there. But I don't hear anything about 4. Anyways, this is Lock and Load Blackened Angle Mix, Masami Ueda, who I'm guessing is the original composer. And then remixed by Shisako Uchiyama. And this one has lyrics and vocals. Okay. Oh, which might be their official channel. Yeah, Shooty HG. Okay. Alright, this is Lock and Load with, I guess, some vocals. Oh, I wonder who the vocalist was in the first song. I didn't see it. It just sounds like Devil May Cry. This music is just, it's meant to pump you up. It makes the game so much more fun. You feel like an immovable object. It's like almost new metal, almost. Not really. But there's like some It was around the same time period, no? That was a cool lyric. Oh, is it like an angel? Did I say angel? Cleanse your cradle of filth. Very fitting here. I forgot about that band. God, it's such a time capsule, dude. This music style. I don't know if I've heard a chorus yet. Who's that? I don't know what that is. I noticed they keep changing the appearance of the characters slightly. So I'm guessing that's Dante. Shooty HG, that sounds so familiar. Should he been the voice this whole time? Because I feel like I've heard his voice in 5. Looking up Shooty HG. Sean McPherson. You're part of Final Fantasy 13. He got a perfect voice for like that vocal fry, you know what I mean? I feel like he's got one of those voices that a lot of vocalists aspire to have as far as like depression. That if you're into this style of music. I'm in front of the website. We got another minute left. I just learned something. This is seriously, and I mean this in a nice way, this is the most like 2000 era voice I've ever heard. I feel like I've heard this voice from like 99 to 2005 all the time. Commercials, everyone. Cool footage too, cool video. This is their demo. I have a feeling, based on what we just heard, that Shooty HG, particularly the singer, not the composer, is a fan of the I'm trying to think, like your Tool, your Perfect Circles. What else? Maybe the band Filter. I'm trying to think of stuff that like they would have grown up with around that time. I don't know when 4 came out. You know what? Now that I think about it, I don't know if I've ever, besides Victor Borba, I feel like most DMC music that has vocals sounds like them. Besides the girl singers, of course, too. Every time I hear that like that gritty kind of thing in the background, I feel like that's him. So let me know if Shooty HG has been around for a very long time. But one thing I saw here on their website, shootyhg.com, is they were in Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I was like, what? I played that. They did, and I know exactly which one it is. It's a Turtle song. Oh my god. Yes, I know exactly what song that is, and it makes total sense. So it's good to see that the voice is still there. So actually we have DMC 3, Dead Rising, DMC 4, Final Fantasy 13 2, DMC 5. Okay, well, there you go. So he seems to have been around DMCs. Like that's his main thing, as far as games go. Not a lot of games though. That's cool. So yeah, check out Shooty HG. I don't know the composers as far as like what else they've done. Maybe they're longtime Capcom employees, or maybe they're their own. I don't know. I've never heard of them. So let me know what else they've done. But man, yeah, this whole thing just felt like a huge time capsule to me, because I was a kid around this time. I don't know when 4 came out. I'm gonna just guess. DMC4 came out sometime between 2005 to like 2015, right? Because DMC5 was like a little later than that. But either way, like it sounds like that era. It's I don't know. I have this thought all the time in my head. Is I wonder if people, adults at the time of recording and stuff, if they're aware they are a part of a certain sound. You know what I mean? That's kind of weird to think about. As consumers, we hear this stuff, but then looking back on it later. For example, let's think of the 80s during like the hair metal phase. There's a lot of singers that had raspy voices. Have you noticed that? You know, we got what's his name? Brian. Oh God, I can't remember. The guy that does the Danger Zone song from Top Gun. Kenny Loggins? Oh, well, he's another one. He's another example. So Kenny Loggins, there's Brian, I can't remember his name. That guy, look it up in a second. But, you know, there was this like, people sounded like a certain decade or something. People in the 70s sounded like people in the 70s. 90s, you had the grunge. I mean, yeah, there's genres, but like they also had like a certain vocal register. I can't explain it. And I don't know if anyone has like dove into this topic before. But what I'm saying also is that sounded like the 2000s to me. And I wonder at the time if they're aware that they sound like that, that they're a part of something, or they're just being themselves. You know what I mean? It kind of makes you think, like, I don't know. I just think about stuff like that all the time. But it's cool. It's cool to, because I think of it now, like, what are we going through that right now in the 2020s, which most of it is auto-tuned right now. But, you know, like, will we look back at 2040 and be like, oh yeah, that sounds like a 2020s sound. What the hell does that sound like? Enlighten me. Man, who is the singer? I keep wanting to say Brian Anderson, but I'm not. In the meantime, while I look for this 80s singer, Brian, he has huge hits too. Bryan Adams, damn it. Bryan Adams, quintessential 80s voice, but also Kenny Loggins. Anyways, it's nice to know that this game is very consistent. Well, I don't know about the gameplay. You guys let me know. You guys are the DMC fans. Let me know how the games are. Do they radically change from one to another? I'm assuming the one core formula has been the same, which has been hack and slash and combos, maybe? I don't know if combos have always been around. But it's obviously a emphasis on slashing stuff up. Very arcade feel. Very Capcom. But let me know how the music has been. From the sounds of it, it sounds like it's really never strayed too far, if maybe at all. Does this game ever go into the ballad territory to, you know what I mean? Do they do anything else besides this? Which is fine. But because of that, they've created their own sound. And every time I hear something like that, I will always think of Devil May Cry first and foremost. They have created their own thing. So that's cool. That's all I got. You know, it sounded like why I decided to play DMC5. It sounded like, I don't know, you know? I hope that made sense. Lock and load. And one more thing, probably the most important thing. I wonder why they brought this back. Character theme, perhaps? I noticed they do that a couple times. I think Devil Trigger has come back. And now lock and load. So there seems to be a little bit of a pattern there. I'm still very much a newbie to DMC. I've been listening to DMC music for 3 years now, but I've only heard like 9 songs. It's nothing. I barely have experienced this game. Anyways, let me know your experience with Devil May Cry. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like 4? Did you like 1? Just tell me whatever. Thank you, Darton, and thank you to all the patrons you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Shout out to Shooty HG. Take it easy, everyone.